Okay, I'm going to make a couple of tables for these. How is the graph of y equals 3x squared plus 3 different from the graph of y equals 3x squared? So essentially, they're exactly the same, except the first one's got an extra uh, plus 3 sitting there at the end. And so they're saying, how does that make it different than the y equals 3x squared? So let's just, I'm going to make a table here, and I'm just going to show you something. If we said this is x, okay, and let's just throw some numbers in there. Let's say -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, you don't have to do this. I'm just trying to do this to get you to understand. Then what would y be when you plug it in? Or what would 3x squared be? Okay, so if you square it, if you square the x, -2 times -2 is 4. Then multiply by the coefficient of 3, you get 12. Okay, and I'm just going to do this for a few numbers. Plug in -1. -1 squared is 1. Multiply it by 3, you get 3. Plug in 0. 0 squared is 0. Times 3 is 0. Plug in 1. 1 squared is 1. Times 3 is 3. And then plug in 2. 2 squared is 4. And then you multiply it by the 3, and you get 12. Okay? We don't need to worry about where the vertex point is or anything like that. All I'm just showing you is that for this original graph, or this thing that they gave us right there, those would be the outputs for those numbers. So then I'm asking, what would be the outputs for 3x squared plus 3? Okay, well, we can already use these numbers that we have here. This is 3x squared. Since the plus 3 happens at the end, we can just take this number and we can add another 3 to it. Plus 3, that's 15. Plus 3, that's 6. Plus 3, that's 3. That's 6. That's 15. And if you plotted those points, you'd say, okay, I go over to -2 for x, and then I go up to 12 for y on this one. On this one, we go an additional 3 units up, corresponding to this plus 3. That adds another 3 onto the y value, and that shifts that point up by 3. Okay? And this happens over and over again. Whatever this point is, -1 comma 3, right? That's 3 units above the x-axis. You go up 3. You're going to go, this point's going to be 3 higher than that. So this point will be 3 higher than this. This point will be 3 higher. This point will be 3 higher. Every point will be 3 higher than what it would be if we didn't have that plus 3 at the end, if we just had 3x squared. So what that's essentially doing is it's taking the entire parabola and it's simply shifting it up by 3 units. It's now 3 units higher than it was because we've added 3 units to the y value, and the y value tells you how far to go up. So what we're saying is go up 3 units more than that. Shifted 3 units up, and that is A. Okay? Now, without making a table of all of this, I'm just going to give you this idea. Okay? I'm going to make it the quick idea. I'm going to make a table over here. Okay, this is x, this is -4x squared, and this is -4x squared minus 5. Okay, so if I said this x value was equivalent to some number, I guess I can put it in. Why not just show it to you? -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, square -2, -2 squared is 4. Times -4 is -16. Okay, -1 squared is 1 times -4, -4. 0 squared is 0 times -4 is 0. 1 squared is 1 times -4 is -4. And 2 squared is 4. -4 times 4 is -16. Okay, what happens when we take this and apply that to the numbers that we had here, because the -5 just happens at the end. We already calculated the -4x squared part. What do we then do when we go -5? Well, what's that going to do? That is going to shift it 5 units down. So now instead of -16, it's going to be -21. Instead of -4, it's going to be -9. Instead of 0, it's going to be negative 5, negative 9, negative 21. Every point is now 5 units lower than it was before. So the number at the end, that constant value, is going to shift it up if there's a plus there from what it would be if it wasn't, or shift it down. And it doesn't move it left or right. It's simply affecting the y, the output value. So essentially, it doesn't really matter what the rest of the equation was. If they said, okay, we're going to start you out with an original equation of this, and now we're going to write that exact same equation, but subtract 5 from it, it'll shift it down 5 units. It doesn't matter whether it was negative, this one's negative 4x squared, right? Doesn't matter, okay? Those points will all land somewhere on the original one. When I say the original one, I mean like this one. And what will happen when you say, how is this one different? Well, we've got this additional minus 5, so it shifts it down by 5. And that is how that works. The more you really, really think about this stuff, if you really deeply like try and understand it on a mathematical level instead of just saying, how do I solve this problem, get the right answer, and move on, then at some point, everything will start to click in your mind. How does that happen? You have to be curious. You have to ask questions. You have to say, I don't know. I still don't get it. Can we talk about it some more? Still don't get it. Can we talk about it some more? And then you really, truly try and get it. Even if you got the answer right, even if that test is already passed. Keep asking questions. The people that do that, they're curious. They won't stop thinking about these things until they get them. They won't stop learning. And it all comes together for those people. Okay, the people that struggle are the people that are just not so curious about math and never ask questions. So I've said this to many of you before, but if you're not asking questions, if you're knowing that you don't know something and then you're just like, whatever, and you don't bother to find out, you don't care to find out, you're going to be limited in math. It'll just limit you in math. So be curious. This stuff's actually really interesting when you start to make sense of it. So ask the questions that help make sense of it, and then your experience in math will be enjoyable instead of a slog.